Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Options and Ideas.
Dear friend, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Today we will be presenting a very good topic. Our small request to you is, please subscribe the channel, like the video and share to others. Your inspiration will motivate us. Thanks a lot. Happy watching. Components of CTC as per Income Tax Act. What is CTC? Total expenses any organization pays on any employee in a year. Cost to company. CTC or cost to company is the total amount that a company spends, directly or indirectly, on an employee. It refers to the total salary package of the employee. CTC is never equal to the amount of take-home salary of the employee. Why company considers CTC? All benefits are included here. In senior level, company pays benefits in terms of perks in lieu of cash component to save income tax for the employee. Cost to company. CTC or cost to company is the total amount that a company spends, directly or indirectly, on an employee. It refers to the total salary package of the employee. CTC is never equal to the amount of take-home salary of the employee. CTC equals gross salary plus PF plus gratuity. Normal salary breakup. Gross salary. Gross salary is the amount calculated by adding up one's basic salary and allowances, before deduction of taxes and other deductions. It includes bonuses, overtime pay, holiday pay, and other differentials. Gross salary equals basic salary plus HRA plus other allowances net salary. Net salary or take-home salary is obtained after deducting income tax at source, TDS, and other deductions as per the relevant company policy. Net salary equals basic salary plus HRA plus allowances, income tax, employer's provident fund, professional tax. Basic salary. Basic salary is the base income of an individual. It is a fixed part of one's compensation package. It is usually the largest component of the CTC, making up 40 to 50% of the gross salary, total CTC. The basic plays an important role in defining the salary, as other components like provident fund, gratuity, and SC are dependent on it. HRA, house rent allowance. HRA or house rent allowance is a benefit provided by employers to their employees to help the latter cover their accommodation expenses or the cost of renting a house. HRA is 40 to 50% of the basic salary. It can claim a deduction for HRA under Section 10(13)(a) of the Income Tax Act, but remember it can be fully or partially taxable. Consider the following example for a better understanding of HRA calculation. Dearness allowance. Dearness allowance is fully taxable and is a cost of living adjustment allowance to mitigate the impact of inflation on people. It is paid to government employees, public sector employees, PSU, and lately to private sector employees too. Dearness allowance is calculated as a percentage of a basic salary. ASDA 100% of basic salary in government sector and 10 to 20% in private sector jobs. Personal allowances. Conveyance. Conveyance allowance, also called transport allowance, is a type of allowance offered to employees of a company to compensate for their travel from residence to and from respective workplace location. Allowances are generally offered to employees on top of their basic salary component and may or may not be taxable as per the Income Tax Act. In general, conveyance allowance is paid by an employer only if there is no transportation provided by the employer. In case an employer offers office transport, conveyance allowance will not be provided to employees. 1,600 rupees per month given for the conveyance allowance, tax exempted, above the taxable. Latest information on conveyance allowances for central government employees. Please see the table very carefully. PF contribution of the employer. Employer has to contribute 13.16% of basic salary. After 15 kpf is not mandatory. SC contribution of the employer. Employer has to contribute 4.75% of gross salary. After 21 k SC is not applicable. PF contribution of the employee. Employee has to contribute 1.75% of basic salary. After 15 kpf is not mandatory. SC contribution of the employee. Employee has to contribute 12% of gross salary. After 21 k SC is not applicable. Monthly bonus. Monthly bonus means the recent annual bonus determined on the date of termination of executive's employment divided by 12. A monthly bonus is a performance-based reward that can be paid as part of an employee's CTC, cost to company. The minimum bonus is 8.33% of the basic and dearness allowance, which is around 1 month's salary. LTA or leave travel allowance. Employer provides LTA to employ for employees travel to any place in India alone or with their family. LTA exemption is limited to the extent of actual travel costs incurred by the employee. LTA exemption only in respect of 2 journeys performed in a block of 4 calendar years. Travel has to be undertaken within India and overseas destinations are not covered for the exemption. Labor Welfare Fund. 1. Labor welfare is an aid in the form of money or necessities for those in need. It provides facilities to laborers in order to improve their working conditions, provide social security, and raise their standard of living. 2. To justify the above statement, various state legislatures have enacted an act exclusively focusing on welfare of the workers, known as the Labor Welfare Fund Act. The Labor Welfare Fund Act incorporates various services, benefits and facilities offered to the employee by the employer. Such facilities are offered by the means of contribution from the employer and the employee. However, the rate of contribution may differ from one state to another. 20 from each employee and 40 rupees from the employer for each employer, i.e., a total of 60 rupees per employee to be remitted through online payment only. Professional tax. Profession tax is a direct tax which is levied on persons earning an income by way of either practicing a profession, employment, calling or trade. Unlike income tax which is levied by the central government, profession tax is levied by the government of a state or union territory in India. Majority but not all of the Indian states impose profession tax. While states like Karnataka and Maharashtra have profession tax, there is no such tax applicable in Delhi and Haryana. Profession tax rates of West Bengal as of 2023-2024. Please see the table very carefully. Gratuity. A gratuity is a sum of money customarily given by a customer to certain service sector workers such as hospitality for the service they have performed, in addition to the basic price of the service. Suppose Mr. A has worked with an organization for 5 years, and your basic salary plus the amounted to 30 rupees. Every month, you are eligible to receive 5 multiply 30,000 multiply 15 by 26 is equal to 86,538 rupees and 46 paise as gratuity. Perquisite and allowances. It's given under perquisites ACT as per income tax ACT. It's the extra benefits an employee enjoys from his employer in terms of allowance. Is any benefit or amenity granted or provided free of cost or at concessional rates such as rent-free unfurnished house, rent-free furnished house, motor car facility, reimbursement of gas, electricity and water, club facility, domestic servant facility, interest subsidy on loan, reimbursement of medical bills, reimbursement of hospital bills, reimbursement of telephone bills, benefits derived by employee stock option, and so on. List of allowable perks under Income Tax Act. 1. Car maintenance allowance. If the employer-owned car is used by the employee, and the employer reimburses driver's salary, insurance, maintenance and fuel expenses, the taxable value will be 2,700 rupees per month. Car with engine capacity up to 1,600 cc, or 3,300 rupees per month. Car with engine capacity more than 1,600 cc. If the employee owns the car, an exemption of 2,700 rupees per month or 3,300 rupees per month in respect of the driver's salary, maintenance and fuel expenses borne and reimbursed by the employer. 2. Medical allowance. This financial year has brought a huge relief in terms of medical expenses for self and dependents. From free 2019-20 onwards, the standard deduction has been raised to Rs. 50,000. 3. Laundry allowance. In circumstances where special clothing is required to be worn by the employee, and the employee is required to launder that special clothing, a laundry allowance will typically be triggered. Types of allowances. 1. Fully exempted allowances. 1. These allowances are not at all taxable. 2. Foreign allowance given by government to employees posted abroad. 3. House rent allowance given to judges of High Court and Supreme Court. 4. Sumptuary allowance given to judges of High Court and Supreme Court. 2. Fully taxable allowances. 1. It is fully taxable. 2. Dearness allowance. 3. City, capital, compensatory allowances. 4. Lunch, tiffin, marriage, family, deputation, wardship, non-practicing, project, overtime, medical allowance. 5. Entertainment allowances. Least of the following statutory limit 5,000 rupees. 6. 1/5 of basic salary only. 7. Actual entertainment allowance received during the year. 3. Partially taxable allowances. 1. House rent allowance. 2. Allowance paid to meet the cost of accommodation is known as HRA. 3. The minimum of the following exempt actual HRA received. 4. Excess of rent paid over 10% of salary, 50% of salary if the accommodation is in metropolitan cities, and 40% in case of other cities. Taxable HRA equals actual HRA received, exempted amount. Salary breakup. This is how salary breakup is made. Please see it as it is the way to calculate salary breakup. Please see it carefully, as salary breakup is the analysis of gross salary or cost to company, CTC, to get each component of salary. The enhanced salary of an employee is usually different from the gross salary. This is the ideal salary structure. Please see the table. Components. Recommendation. Basic 40 to 50% of CTC DA, 5% of CTC HRA, 50% of basic plus DA if metro, and 40% if non-metro. Conveyance 1,600 rupees a month, medical 1,250 rupees a month. LTA no real benchmark, can even be used as a plug, but if not can set as 10% of basic ESIC. Employer contribution, 4.75% of gross salary ESIC. Employee contribution, 1.75% of gross salary. Provident fund, employer, asterisk 13.16% of basic salary. Provident fund, employee, 12% of basic salary. Professional tax as per state-wise slabs. Labor welfare fund as per state-wise slabs. Tax slab tabular presentation. Tabular presentation of tax slabs and its components. Please watch the table very carefully. CTC calculation process in the tabular form. Please watch it carefully. Thank you. Hope you all like this video presented by Options and Ideas. This video focuses on components of CTC as per Income Tax Act.
Thanks for watching the video. Our address is Options and Ideas, 28L, Jheel Road, flat number 1A, ground floor, Kolkata, pin code 700031. West Bengal. Website www.optionsandideas.com and optionsandideas.org. Contact 93300366513.